Hello. All right, our app is done. So now we're going to publish it for the world to use. Bildr makes this really easy. So let's just dive right into it. Up in the top right of the studio, there's the publish button. And what we're going to do, so we've been working, everything we've done, we've built in this development environment. And right now, there's nothing in the second environment, which is test, and there's nothing in our production environment. And so the way this works is this development environment is mapping to the URL you may have noticed throughout the course, which is this pre-provided p with this number.bildr.com. Now what we're going to do in this lesson is publish our work into test environment and map the test environment to a Bildr subdomain that we'll create. So it'll be like something.bildr.com. And then we're going to publish to production and map production to a domain I purchased for the course, which is coursegoat.com. So let's do the test environment to a subdomain first. So I'm going to click on development. So I'm selecting the source to publish from, and then the source I want to publish to is test. And so you have two options here, either the Bildr subdomain or a custom domain. So we'll do the subdomain first. Now let's hope that for some reason nobody in the Bildr community took this subdomain. So we're good. Let's verify that. Okay, it's available. So click continue to below to create and assign this subdomain to this deployment. So continue. It's been reserved. So now I'm just going to go ahead and publish it. There it is. Okay, so it's published. Let's just confirm that it's there. And it might take a second to load, and there it is. Okay, so we got the first step. We now have this handy subdomain that we can share. If we're working against the test environment, when we're making updates, we could either now look at those updates in live view in our development environment, or if we publish those updates to the test environment, we can test them there. I think that's why they call it test environment. So let's move on to publishing to our custom domain. We'll go back into the studio and back into publish. And this time we're going to publish to production. Now, right now I could do this from development or test because they're exactly the same. I haven't made any different changes, but for now we'll go from development to production. And now we'll use a custom domain. And here's where they're going to walk you through how to do this. So my domain, as you've seen, we will go ahead and verify it. So now I'm using Google Domains here. I'm going to copy the records that they're telling me to copy. There's an A record and a TXT record, and just put them in our DNS settings, add them as custom resource records. And you can do this for other service providers, other domain providers like GoDaddy or Namecheap, but I'm using Google here. So first I'll take the value for the A record and add this as an A record. And then the value for the TXT record and add it as a TXT record. So I have the two records. Now I'm going to go back into the studio, and I'm gonna pause here and wait a little bit because this will probably take at least a few minutes to propagate. And so I'll wait to actually verify it and then come back, and hopefully when I do come back, we can do that. All right, I'm back. Let's give it a try. So we'll check the box that I've added all my records, hit continue. And I suspect it's working because it looks like it's processing and I didn't immediately get an error. Yes. And so I think we're good here. Let's just let it finish. And great. So it worked. So the other thing we'll see here is Bildr provides a free SSL certificate. So we have a secure site and they just ask for a little bit more information. So I'll just put that in here and submit it. And we'll publish it. Excellent. So let's open our project just to make sure it's there at coursegoat.com. I may need to refresh once or twice before we see it. Let's just try again. Yep. Great. Now we're on our custom domain. And so there's just one last thing we want to do, because in our DNS settings, we publish this to https coursegoat.com, but we also want to get the www.coursegoat.com just in case someone goes there. And so that's also easy to do. If I go back into the studio and I go to the menu, and in my project settings, there's a tab we haven't been to yet called deployments, where you can see details on each of your environments and your deployments. So we're going to go into production here. And if we scroll down, we can see our domain, but now we want to add another. And we want to do a subdomain. So we want www dot our domain. Now we verify it's available. That's good. And so we need to add one more record for it. So we need this CNAME record in our DNS. So I'll just copy this part and go back in. We need a CNAME, www, paste. Great. So let's check it now. It might not be ready yet, but it's worth a shot. Oh, sorry. First, let's go confirm this. So it's not quite ready yet, but this will work. I may come back and just confirm it in the video, but if not, I'm sure this worked. It just takes some time to propagate sometimes. So I did pause and wait just a few minutes and try this again, and it worked. So we're good. We'll hit complete, and then let's just confirm that we have the www. And we do. Perfect. So now we have both addresses at our custom domain. So that's it. We're published, we're live, and our app is done. So we'll just do one more lesson, which is going to be walking through the resources, instructions for how to use the app if you decide to clone the pattern. And then also, as part of that, walk through sharing a pattern into the Bildr community. So it'll show you that it's there, that if you can get in and grab it and use it, then you can see the resources that will be in it. And that will be it. Thanks. See you then.